All right, well, first of all, for reference, just give me your name and spell that, please.
My name is Tim Young, Young. I'm a captain with the Jefferson City Fire Department.
Okay, so tell me, I don't know if you were there on Friday or not, what happened with that chimney?
We had a simple flue fire, and we have a lot of these this time of year. People failed to clean their chimneys earlier, and now they're burning after last season, after the spring season where they quit burning. There's a buildup that occurs on the inside of the chimney. We refer to it as creosote, but what it is, it's just a flammable deposit of material from the wood that burns. It's just a flammable deposit that just coats the inside of the chimney, and when it gets good and hot, it burns, and we get a flue fire out of it. Flue fires typically will burn themselves out, but we still need to be notified. The fire department still needs to respond to that, because what can happen, those chimneys will crack, that flue liner will crack, that masonry flue liner, and it's possible to get a fire into the attic then. Any of the metal chimneys, we used to have a lot of problems with the metal chimneys, but they seem to have improved some of those over the years, and we're not having near the problems with them we used to have. We still have problems with them though. So anytime you have a flue fire, you need to go ahead and call the fire department and have us come check it. As well as we may still need to extinguish that fire also. And that's another process in itself.
Okay, so what do you recommend to folks to even prevent this from happening? Maybe some services they can look into?
Well, first off, get that chimney cleaned every year before you burn. And make sure that the wood you're burning is not green, that has dried out over a season, maybe over a year or so. And that's going to reduce that moisture level that is in that wood. That's what causes that deposit. The other thing that happens is over the springtime we tend to build hot fires and then choke those fires down a lot and let them burn themselves out in the firebox or in the wood stove. And that's another thing that causes that crusting or causes that deposit of that material on that flue liner. And that's another issue then. So again, the flues need to be cleaned every year and checked before you burn, and then burn good dry wood in them. It would help more than anything.
Okay, and what about those fire brick starters? What do they call them? I forgot what those say. They help start fires. I heard those has some issues.
They're not bad. Again, you're not going to use a lot of that, but what that does, it helps to start your fire. And most of the time, that is a compressed wood product that will burn for a while, and it in itself is not. It doesn't create a lot of deposits for your chimney. Again, what causes the deposits in the chimney are green and wet woods that slow burn over a period of time.
And you kind of mentioned already the ovens, like butt stoves and stuff like that. Those are kind of the same precautions you would take as a chimney. Is that correct?
Exactly. We want to make sure that all gets cleaned out every year before you use it. And I'll tell you another thing, if we have a winter where you're doing a lot of off and on burning, where you're not doing a lot of constant burning, it's the constant hot fires that keep those chimneys cleaned out. But if you're letting fires burn themselves out or do slow burning for a while, you're going to need to get chimney clean probably midwinter too. If we have a winter that's changeable weather, warm one day, cold the next, you may need to get that cleaned midwinter too.
So are there any guidelines to how often folks should get their chimneys cleaned based on how they burn them, like you said, midwinter?
It's based on how it burns, pretty much.
At least get cleaned once a year.
At least once a year, maybe twice a year as you're using it through midwinter is probably a good idea. Another thing, if a citizen has a flue fire, one of the things that we have to do is clean out the firebox and carry a lot of the stuff outside and close the damper. The citizen can, if they think they have a flue fire, can discharge a fire extinguisher up the chimney from the bottom. Now, we don't recommend that practice, but if you think you have a serious flue fire going on and you feel like you can knock the fire down safely and not hurt yourself in the process of it, discharging that extinguisher up the chimney may not be a bad idea. It would slow that fire down a little bit, at least till we get there.